Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about the TaylorMade Sim2 driver and also the Callaway Epic Max and Epic Max or Epic Speed drivers. That's the one. And we are taking a look at what the fundamental differences are going to be in technology, how that might impact performance, what might suit you best, what you're going to want to try as soon as these drivers are released, and any other information we can give you comparing these two drivers as well, because there are a lot of fundamental differences between these two drivers, and it's going to be really interesting to see what you guys prefer throughout 2021, and what's the better driver, what delivers the better performance, what's better looking. And I'd love to know your thoughts as well, so at any stage during this video, comment your thoughts down below. I'd love to know them. Like this video and of course subscribe to my channel as well. But let's dive straight in, and first of all, let's take a look at the TaylorMade Sim2 drivers. So, TaylorMade Sim2, we've taken a look at these drivers before, so I'm not going to take too long going through every little detail, but we're mainly going to be talking about the differences between this and the new Callaway Epic Max and Epic Speed drivers. So, TaylorMade Sim2. What's the main technology it looks like we have going on here? Well, it looks like they have changed the shape of the driver head, elongated that back kind of fin, get that weight as far back and low down as possible. They've made the club head deeper, so it's actually going to look a bit more like the shape of a Callaway Epic Max, or that's what we've been told, or what rumors are going around to do with it. And then they have this kind of the speed slot, or whatever they want to call it, speed pocket it says on there, on the front of the club face, and they have that weight, obviously the high MOI, low spin weight right at the front. It looks like that weight's not movable or adjustable, although there is a kind of screw in it. It doesn't look like there's anywhere else to put it, anywhere else to swap it or adjust the weight. It does have that adjustable hosel as well, so we can adjust the loft a little bit, and that kind of affects the lie angle a little bit or whatever. But yeah, it looks interesting, but on the outside, not a huge amount of technology there to kind of talk about. So yeah, not much else to really say. If we have a look at the crown of the driver, it does look quite different. We've got that, it looks like white across the kind of white small sliver across the front, and that matte black fiber crown on top as well. And it does look cool with that blue going around the edge. I'm still not a massive fan of the green on the bottom, but apparently there might be some customizability when it comes to the color as well. That's just a rumor, so it would be a rumor that would be very cool if it was true. It does say that forged aluminum. If we take a look at this photo, that forged aluminum on the back, and that kind of almost looks like the main technology, that maybe they have some sort of, they've got that kind of piece of metal that kind of goes around, that blue that says forged aluminum goes around pretty much the whole crown and sits right at the back. So maybe there'll be some story to do with the aerodynamics of that. It will be interesting to see. Obviously this is just speculation at the moment. And now if we take a look at the Callaway Epic Max and Epic Speed drivers, and that's a pretty different look. We have a bunch of visible technology, so these drivers have gone completely different directions. We have an adjustable hosel, we have a sliding weight track at the back, we have some sort of aerodynamic fin type things just next to that. We have that jailbreak speed frame, which has now 4 bars of jailbreak, 2 kind of thicker looking ones and 2 thinner. And so very, very different looks. We have a lot of visible technology with the Epic Max, and maybe not such visible technology with the TaylorMade SIM2 drivers, which is really interesting, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Let's take a look at another picture, and this is of the Epic Speed driver. So in this one we have that weight track that's not there. We have a fixed weight at the back. So it will be interesting to see what the differences are between this and the Epic Max. Other than that, obviously weight track, it could be slightly different club head shape as well. We still have those 4 bars. The jailbreak on this says jailbreak AI speed frame. They've used their AI supercomputers to develop this new technology. And it also looks, if we have a look at the club face, it looks like we have some sort of wraparound club face as well, which is really, really interesting. And it says Flash Face 21 on it, so this looks to be a new developed version of their previous club face technology, which was developed by that AI supercomputer they talked a lot about in their marketing. So let's put these two drivers back to back and let's really talk about some of the main fundamental differences with these drivers. So if we take, obviously to me, the main difference with these drivers is the weight track, basically. On the TaylorMade drivers, it doesn't look like we have any kind of movable weight, which is kind of interesting. They're going to be bringing out 3 of these drivers in a TaylorMade SIM2, TaylorMade SIM2 Max, and a TaylorMade SIM2 Max D, which is going to be the draw bias driver. And at first looks, we're only going to be getting 2 of the Epic drivers. We're going to be getting the Epic Max and the Epic Max, the Epic Speed. Which is kind of interesting. So the speed, you would think just from the name, might be lighter. It might be a slightly higher spinning driver. It will be interesting to see what the story is with that. But the main differences between these two is that it looks like on the TaylorMade drivers we don't have any kind of movable weight in the club head, which is interesting because TaylorMade, to my knowledge, were the first people to put that technology into their drivers, and it was such a huge story. It was, you know, something really talked about, really focused on when they brought that movable weight track out to allow for so much customizability in the fitting process and everything, of ball flight, spin. If we think about the M1 driver, the original M1, it had that T-track, and that was something really, really popular with a lot of people, and we saw that technology then developed from there into different shaped tracks and to really allow for more customizability. So it's interesting that that isn't there. Callaway have also gotten rid of that in the Epic Speed, but they have kept that in the Epic Max. I think this is a good decision because it differentiates themselves from TaylorMade and Cobra and a lot of other driver manufacturers actually who aren't using movable weight tracks. It allows them to keep the kind of marketing story, if you will, of the movable weight track, and also if we want as consumers a movable weight track, to my knowledge in 2021 they might be the only ones we can go to. Obviously there'll be more products released, so we'll see if those go away from the movable weight tracks. If they keep them, it will be very interesting to see. But for now, those look like the main fundamental differences. The other main differences are that, well, on the Callaway you have a lot of very visible technology. You have the weight track, you have the speed fin type things, and you have the jailbreak at the front. On the TaylorMade, on the other hand, which is a very un-TaylorMade thing to do, it's a much subtler driver, I would have to say, on a looks point of view. Now, I'm sure it will feature some new technology. I'm sure it will probably perform great. But visibly, there isn't too much technology to take a look at. And so it will be really interesting to see when these drivers are officially released, what TaylorMade's story is with the research and development of this driver, what differences they've changed, why they've changed them. We may even get an explanation as to why the weight track is gone. And yeah, it's just, it's going to be interesting to see. The other differences of these drivers, well, they're very different in looks. We don't have images of the Callaway from the top, so of the crown, but at the bottom they're very, very different looking drivers, different colors. It's interesting to see the TaylorMade have incorporated a bit of that green into the Sim2 drivers. Personally, I don't like it. I think if you just kept it blue, blue and white, or blue and grey, blue and black, it would have looked a bit better. I mean, that's just preference. It's not going to affect the performance of the driver, that's for sure. And there is talk about TaylorMade bringing out color customizable options with this driver that maybe you can order on their website, which will be interesting to see, because obviously Callaway launched that, was it last year or the last couple of years, where you had the option to go onto their website and order a custom colored version of their products. And TaylorMade have been bringing out more and more customizability of their products with different wedges and putters. So far, I believe that's the only customizability they've offered in terms of the clubs. So it will be interesting to see what we're able to do as consumers. I think everyone loves having custom color, their initials on products or whatever it might be. Obviously, this is all speculation at the moment based on these images that we've got. I don't have any kind of leaks or connections in either of these companies. These are kind of images that were just online and have got people talking and speculating, so I thought we'd discuss them together. Let me know what you guys think of either of these two drivers. Which driver would you go for? Would you go for the TaylorMade Sim? Would you go for the Callaway Epic Max or Epic Speed? What are you more excited to test as well? I'd love to know. And as always, guys, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy New Year. Hope you guys had an amazing Christmas and holidays. And as always, guys, grip it and rip it.